God, you know, I need my alerts to shut up. Do not fall off. Do not plop. Do not explode. I built this little thing. I built this city out of rock and roll. I built this little holder thing for my camera out of a selfie stick. You could see it if I did that, but I built it out of a selfie stick for my Facebook, and I hot glued the selfie stick holder to a wall outlet charger for one of my camera battery chargers that was old and shitty and tried to blow up my house once, for real. It literally blew my the things that pop to make sure your house doesn't explode, those. And anyway, but for some weird ass reason I can never get the little thing to, man, I need to close off some light. My light sources suck. I've got to, you know, I really need to redo my setup for this. I need to clean my fucking room though too. So that might help. Clean my room, redo my light sources. Looks like I have gray thing in my beard, but it's just a shine. I was all, oh, I'm getting the gray streaks. Anyway, so today I'm really going to try to get my meat babies dead. And I don't know if my internet's going to hold today, because our internet providers got bought out by a new company, and they're screwing me even harder than the guys before them screwed me. They're not even buying me lunch, dinner. No wine dine 69 here, just straight bend me over and take this internet for even more money and less services. It's great. And I'm all, somebody's lying to me. Somebody is definitely lying to me about this. Because this is not great. This is terrible. Terrible. So anyway, hopefully my internet, I'm looking at my box as the lights all go like a goddamn Christmas, like your Christmas tree having some kind of a, you know, seizure. Lights are just pop, 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 pop. And I'm all, I don't even know what that means. It's some kind of Morse code. Anyway, let me get rid of my colors from yesterday, because we did a good painting session yesterday, and I really appreciate everybody who showed up. We had about 12 people in our painting class. Hello, Noodles. We had about 12 people in the painting class yesterday total. Between Facebook and YouTube, we had about 12 people in the painting class. And secretly, I kind of deceived everybody. Looked like we were going to paint some pumpkins, but we didn't paint pumpkins. We didn't paint pumpkins at all yesterday. So our first technical painting class wasn't about painting. It was about connecting your mind, body, and soul as an artist to better understand the flow of creativity in oneself, to allow a smoother, better understanding of self emotionally, mentally, and such when creating, putting yourself into the art versus just slapping some paint on a canvas. Because there's so much more to it than that, and a lot of people don't realize that. And that bothers me. So, today, you can hear my kids yelling upstairs because they're playing Fortnite with my wife. So today, oh, and next time we do the paint class, by the way, I think I'm going to start doing it on Saturdays at noon. We are actually going to learn styles and techniques. Nothing that I apply, because I don't apply style and technique and methods and fancy stuff where you learn. Shut up! Because I don't apply it. I just kind of throw things together and every painting I do, every art piece I do is an experimentation in self ideas and creative processes. And I let things kind of flow and happen and hope for the best and try to keep my logical side as far away as possible. But if you have the technical know-how and understanding, it's just one more thing in your arsenal, during the mental versus emotional battle that is art creativity. So if you know how to shadow properly and how to, use proper techniques, and Jesus, what is that goddamn thing flying around my fucking room? It's going to carry off one of my goddamn kids in a minute. I mean, I'm okay with that. I've got a few to spare, but Jesus. Anyway, I can fucking comes in and fucking flies away. So anyway, but we will actually learn techniques, shading style or shading techniques and all kinds of things on Saturdays at noon. That's my plan. So that'll be a part of the technical know-how versus the emotional creativity to make whatever you want happen. So hopefully people can combine those two. Me, I can't. My technical brain overthinks, and my emotional creativity doesn't care. So I'm in a constant struggle and a constant battle to try and reach a level of unity and understanding between those two. And that is where a lot of my troubles come. That's where a lot of my artwork becomes garbage. The self-hate comes in. And it's a mess. It is a mess of a time. But if you've watched any of these, you already know how I usually end up. Black. And usually I end up just yelling at myself and calling myself bad names. And white. Did I get, I did get a new Velvet Crush, didn't I? Yes, thank you, baby. Jesus, almost out of my Velvet Crush. It's one of my favorite purples. And really? Just splatter on me like that? Let's rub that in. It's no big deal. Little known fact about acrylic paints, they're kind of like a lotion. You're just going to rub them in. Rub them in. I'm kidding, don't do that. They actually will, didn't get paint on it. They'll chunk off and they get kind of gross and flaky and weird. Where's my new reds and shit? Did I not pull them out? Did I not? I didn't get any new reds, did I? Son of a bitch. Oh, that was my pants. Yes, guys, I sharded. No, I did not shard. So put my pink there aside for a second. Get my Diva pink. Pink again is my favorite color. A lot of people think black is because that's all I wear, but nope, it's because I'm colorblind and I looked like some kind of 1980s explosion when I tried to dress myself with color. Terrible. Terrible idea. So instead I use a lot of like bright magentas, my Diva pink, candy pink, fuchsia is another one I love, which those are like purple pinks, I know, but pink. I just love pink. It's a nice color. It's a pretty color. I really love hot pink and like neon pink. Those are my favorite too. Anyway, not that you care. I'm still finding paint all the way up my arms. Yeah, you will. Like I said, it's like a lotion. You just rub it in. It's fine. It's fine. That's what I just said a minute ago. It's fine. Just rub in the lotion. You'll be all right. So today's not a painting class. We're not going to learn anything about ourselves or about how to paint, which we didn't learn how to paint yesterday. And again, hey, Erica, thanks for joining. And it looked good. And I'm not asking anybody who joined yesterday to share what your personal reason behind the painting ended up being what it is. But if anybody does want to share what they ended up with, feel free to tag me in it because I like to see. But it's a personal journey. Yesterday was a personal journey of art expression, and you don't have to justify it to anybody. You don't have to explain it to anybody. It does not matter to anybody except you. As long as you got something out of it. That's all that matters. Because other people will look at it and you can explain it, but that doesn't matter. What matters to them is what they can get out of it. Because they'll know something metaphorical is in there, something special is in there, something about it will reach out and grab them, and they'll go, this means that to me, because to me, I can understand this in this way. And it may not be what you intend, but what you intend is irrelevant to what they need in there from what you put from in here out there. That's what makes art connect us bloop, together. Bam. I popped in to join you, only I am doing my new tune bullets. I don't know what tune bullets are, but I'm assuming that they're bullets that kill cartoons. You're a horrible human being. Horrible man for killing cartoons. Unless they're Looney Tunes, because I hate Looney Tunes. I always have. Weird. But anyway, no, John, you're welcome to join me. Did you pop in yesterday to join? I don't think you did, but if you didn't, then you missed art class where we learned about ourselves. Saturday, however, I don't know if I want to do it every Saturday, starting this Saturday, or if I want to skip till next Saturday. But I'm going to start doing it, I think, Saturdays, every Saturday, like a legitimate art class. Like, hey, this is a technique and a style, like my watered down shading technique that I use, which we kind of went over that tiny bit for a second, just to drizzle some lines down on our work yesterday that we all did together. But that was kind of a trick. Again, haha. Yesterday was a trick to take our first step together. And it wasn't about painting. It was about learning how to go beyond. Cool painting. So interesting. Yeah, paintings are what it is in our heads, you know. Well, you know what, Hannah? You should definitely have joined in yesterday, because a lot of what I do here is a lot more therapy, I guess. It's therapy for me. I've explained it a lot, but yesterday, if you look at the video, I'll tag you in it or something. Go to about 49 minutes. Start there. Because the first half is me trying to explain to people, we're going to paint a pumpkin, and we're going to do this, and we're going to do that. But it was really very deceiving for a good reason, though. Because painting, creatively speaking, isn't necessarily, yeah, that should be good, isn't about, my new phrase is this, it has nothing to do with what you put on the canvas. It has everything to do with what you leave on the canvas, you know? So, I see what you're saying. You're making cartoon bullet props. So, I don't know, that's a little bit much. Maybe water it down a little bit more. Excuse me. But yeah, Hannah, you should probably go back and check that and just enjoy that video. I'm telling you. And hey, what is up? This guy right here, this Joseph gentleman, I actually met him due to a film fest incident a couple years back. But this guy is a painting son of a bitch. He's famous for his little dolls with the little eyeballs. Came for the meat hole, stayed for the thoughts on life. Thanks, Ryan.
It's so annoying.
Anyway,
please change it. Please, Kyle.
Hey, shush! You're annoying. Please change it. God. But anyway.
No, the song. She literally plays it over and over.
Okay, I don't care what song. I don't care. I'm live. Be quiet. Gotta darken all this again. Because, well, you know what? No, I don't like that. But anyway. Now, yesterday was very focused on the psychological connection between art, self-understanding, creative process, pulling your mind, body, soul together to pull out what you need to get out psychologically to create something artistically, and to be known as an artist, not as a painter, not as a digital designer, not as a sculptor, not as a musician, whatever. As an artist, to pull out of you emotionally, mentally, whatever you need to create this piece. Because if you do not create from the soul, as I now say, you're literally only keep mimicking other people's work. You're like, if you redraw Batman, Batman's been drawn. What's the point of it? What's the point of redrawing Batman? You're mimicking somebody else's work. You know, you're taking somebody else's already done piece and you're redoing it. Why? Does it need redone? No. So don't do it. Make something new. Make something you. You know? And that's not a big deal if you love Batman, you want to do it. That's fine. I'm not saying don't do art for fun too. I'm not saying you have to be like some emotionally distressed, like whatever all the time and be like, oh, I'm the goth kid and I have to, or you don't have to be Batman. Be like, I'm Batman. I gotta paint because my parents were killed. No, I'm saying, therapeutically speaking, this is how I do it. You don't have to do the same. If you just love art and you have an appreciation for doodling or painting or whatever, and you just want to do it, do it. Do it. Great. If you're good at it, you have the style, you have the technique, you have the finesse, you have the ability, do it. Fine. I'm not mocking any of that. I'm not mocking the tattooists out there who literally copy people's work. There are some freehanders that do it and just make up their own or draw their own designs. But I'm also not mocking the ones that do only, you know, the trace design work, because that's hard, man. Having a steady hand and straight lining, that's rough. You know, I'm not mocking the people who are inkers or cartoonists or anything like that that do that stuff. I'm not mocking any of those people. I'm just saying, if you don't ever create from your soul, if you never create your personal emotional pieces and get that shit out, if you don't vent that shit out, then what? Then what? You know? On a personal note, I need it. I need it. Maybe you don't, and that's fine. You know, if you don't, and you don't use this as a method for personal therapeutic reasons, that's fine. I'm not going to be like, fuck you. And if you learn art techniques from any of this, I hope you do, you know, then great. Utilize them. You know, and if you don't want to do it in some serious manner where you have to feel like, hey, baby, I'm so deeply emotionally scarred, then don't. Just have a good time with it. Shit. Utilize anything you learned from my stupid ass ranting and raving and stuff. All I'm saying is at the same time, this is my therapy. And I know that art helps a lot of people emotionally and connects us all emotionally. You know, art, it connects my beard, my mustache. But art connects a lot of people emotionally. And when I've had my gallery showings and things, like I've said before, I'm not bragging, by the way. But when I had the art gallery showing, then a lot of people were asking me, what does this piece mean? And I said, no. It doesn't matter what it means to me. What does it mean to you? And they had to think. They had to look at it. And I said, I want you to look deeply into this painting. You tell me, what does your soul feel here, now, in this moment? With it and you, nothing else here matters. These other people don't exist. These other pieces don't exist. I do not exist. You and this moment is all that fucking matters. What is it to you? What are you now? And I got some of the most amazing answers, because emotionally these people really looked deep into themselves. They didn't look into the pain. That's not what they were looking at. This is when I realized. These things are not images. These things are literally mirrors. And that's what I brought up yesterday. These things are things that you look into yourself through. And it's a mind-blowing concept when you think about it, because it's like, it makes you think about how you feel about yourself and how you internally view stuff. It puts a new perspective on everything. And that's when, you know, maybe I'm just dumb. Maybe I'm an idiot. Maybe I just think too much about stuff. Maybe my brain just processes information in a fashion that it just never stops. It's just click, 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 click. That's all my brain does. Painted a shrimp last week. It was just what was on my mind, randomness, I guess. No, it's good. Paint whatever you need to paint. Really? What?
Hi.
Hello.
Hi.
Get out of my live stream now.
Why?
Because I almost painted your nose. Quit. You're just knocking stuff around. Can I help you? No. Goodbye.
Okay.
No, I won't. How about that? You got your mom. She's right in there. Go bug her.
This.
It's a piece of paper on the floor.
Kid ID.
No, well, it was when I was doing the lettering for your sister's logo.
Kid ID.
Bye. Goodbye.
Kid ID.
No, it's the letter logos. Goodbye.
Kid ID.
Oh my God.
Kid ID.
So
No,
anyway,
I'm not gonna leave you alone.
you better leave me alone. I'm doing my live. You know that's the rule. I love you too. Anyway, oops, that's way too dark. And again, I lighten up my paint, my blacks. I never like painting with black straight. And that's a lie. I love painting with solid black all the time. But I water it down and I just use it. I always have a hard time knowing what to paint. Yesterday, I let the chaos take over and I was wowed by what happened. Thank you, Erica. Now that's the point. And I was trying to make yesterday what was so goddamn fucking chair. Fucking chair. That is the one thing I always... Erica, you're guilty of my own sins. Okay? We share sin. In the aspect of, you're guilty, you just said, I have a hard time knowing, thinking, using my logical brain to think about what to paint, to create from up here. You let the chaos, which is emotional based, take over. And you were wowed about how it happened. If you think too hard, your brain will create imagery that is already known. If you think too hard, your brain will try to associate shapes and understanding of anything that you create to something already known. It's association. The human brain does this constantly. That's why when you hear a song, you go, that sounds like something else. Or when you see something, you go, that looks like something else. Because your brain associates things with things you already know and understand. It's easier for you as a human being to do that. That's just how we're wired. Emotional is chaos. Emotional is crazy. That's why when you get emotional and the emotions start taking over you, you just cry for no fucking reason. Or you start getting hysterical for no fucking reason. And then when it takes you completely over, you're a crazy person in a tin hat living in the fucking alleyway pushing a fucking shopping cart full of dog poop. That's how it works. That might be a little far. But that's what it's all about, is you have to have that healthy balance between the two of understanding and connect yourself. That's what I'm saying. My brain's here. My soul's here. I have to find a way to bring them at least somewhat close to each other where there's a healthy balance of them doing something together. Maybe not perfect. Maybe not a 50-50, but within that, 40-60 range of understanding each other. And that's where the battle ensues, Erica. My problem. Exactly. That's where the battle ensues, where I'll let my emotions overtake me sometimes. And they'll start creating this chaotic, weird looking thing that doesn't make any sense to my logical brain because the shape association doesn't make sense. There'll be like teeth halfway up and around. And then like my brain goes, well, that's not how mouths work. You can't have something with teeth that goes up and then spirals back under itself. And my brain tries to rectify that mistake when it's creatively not a mistake. So that's the problem. If you let your logical mind take over your creative side, you've already lost. But if you let your creative side run completely free, you'll probably never finish anything because it'll never stop. Your creative side will just run rampant and just constantly go and emotionally run free. So you have to rein it in a little bit so you can kind of get this balance and this understanding between yourself. That's why I'm trying to get people creatively to understand. You have to end up here somewhere. Because the balance has to be somewhat, because too much of one thing is terrible, too much of the other thing is terrible. Kind of balance it out. And, sometimes you can get a good, healthy, between the two, some kind of understanding, like, hey, let's make it a meat babies. Okay, let's make some meat babies. I'm cool with that, bro. And then you do. And then suddenly you're like, oh, hey, these meat babies, they're all right. I can deal with meat babies, you know? Sometimes it works out good. Sometimes it does not work out good, like that wannabe fifth grader pile of crap sitting right over there that we tried last week. God, I hate it still, and it mocks me every morning when I come down here and look at it. And I think to myself, fuck that piece of trash. And I'll finish it one day. I will come back down here and we'll do a live and we'll see if I can not punch it through the fucking wall. Again, I'm sorry that I did that the other day. Let my emotions run a little rampant. You know, got a little upset, punched a painting across the room. That shit happens though. And that's part of the process. You got to understand. You know, sometimes you have to punch your paintings. Again, I love these cardboards, the paint boards, the canvas boards, because they can take a punch. You know, my regular canvases, no, not so good. Not so good, no. Okay, I'm just kind of adding a little bit of a shadow underneath this little guy. Admittedly, I probably should water it down a little bit more because it's a little bit sharp. Ugh. Hold on, Ryan. I'll look at your comment in about 2 seconds after I try to unfuck myself, which is always hard. Whoop, whoop. All right, let's just do this like that. Wow, bam, 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 bam. Oh, and then let's just, oh, fuck me. I just fucked myself. Look at that. Oh, it's a bunch of blobs. I don't think you can really see it. Oh, it doesn't look too bad. Art has many powers. Art changes how you experience a space where it is present, and it helps you see you in how you perceive the art medium, music, paint, sculptures, etc. All in general, regardless of what medium you use, alters perception. And again, that's what I'm talking about. It connects us. What I get out of this, you won't get out of it. And that's awesome. My wife just said, I'm not going to play. You guys can battle it out, whatever. Sounds like my household. So anyway, prepare to hear a bunch of yelling and childish acting from everybody. Just going to duck and cover and let the explosions happen in there, hopefully. So, yes, art is an experience, and that is what it should be. That is the word experience that you use there. Art should be an experience. Art should never be, to me, this is again all my personal preference, guys. I shouldn't be preaching like, this is the art gospel. Ooh, like, I'm the art Jesus. Believe what I say or you're going to art hell, where you just sit there and your paint's always dried out. Your canvas is like a piece of poop. I don't know. But anyway, also note that I'm keeping it kind of clearer, or well, not clearer, but I'm a little bit more, I don't know, you can't really tell. Hang on. Hi-ya. Again, I'm trying to keep things a little bit more clarified up here. Right? So everything's a little bit more clear on this side. And then my little extra down here is not going to be nearly as clear. You can't see it over here. Hang on. Oh, there we go. A little bit clearer, not so clear down here. So that way the clarity, hopefully, I'm going to darken it in a little bit more, but, again, hopefully giving it that kind of distant look. I never perfected, I do know how to make things, you don't put hard lines on it to give it kind of that blurry distance. But there have been some artists that can just take a brush and just kind of go, flip, 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 and it looks like it's like in the background blurry. And I'm like, fuck you guys and your talent. You're already in art hell? Yeah, well, yeah. Yours looked really good yesterday too, by the way. You can tell your kiddo they're a good job also. But yeah, you, I think, if I'm not mistaken, I creeped on your page and you're like, you do some tattoo work. Wow. You hear my kids if they're yelling? Nah, I'm not in that. Nope. I'm not in that at all. No. I'm staying down here. I did learn I'm heavy-handed with a brush. Okay. Art hell equals creating masterpieces only to have critics nonstop berate your work forever. However, here's the point. This is something, Ryan, that I've brought up. You don't create. Thank you. He's watching as well. Well, good job, kid. Good job. Here's the thing, Ryan. Ow, my eyeball. Ah, don't do that. So here's the thing. Creating art, masterpieces, etc., to have critics berate them. You never create art for anybody but yourself. That is what I say. Again, if you want to do it for fun, if you want to do it for that reason, sure, great. If you have all the technique of the great masters, if you have all the styles and all the methods figured out and all that crap there, and you can make some of the most amazing, realistic paintings and just, stuff like that, and you can do that and sell it for $1 bajillion, go for it. Make $1 bajillion. You will not have the critics talk shit on you. They'll look at your work and they may, on a technical level, go, well, I see he's using Van Gogh's style of blah, 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 blah here. And though it may not be as good as Van Gogh's original, blah, blah, it's very reflective of his later works in blah, blah, blah. And they might talk like that, but they ain't going to talk shit because it'll be amazingly done, well done work. Okay? Keep that in mind. They talk shit on weird stuff that it comes from an emotional place. Things like that, because they don't understand it. They're soulless beings that do not connect to art. Come on, I've known those guys, dude. I have known them personally, and I've had these conversations with them about art, and they ask me, do you really think what you do is art? Do you really think that's art? To my face. And though, yes, I have to admit, at the time, it was fucking soul-crushing to have somebody, an art curator, some big fancy pants gallery motherfucker, look you in the face at a piece of work you spent weeks on, you emotionally invested your soul into, and them to look you in the face and say, do you really think that's art? Do you really think what you're doing is art? Yes, I became angry, hurt, very, very hurt. And I had to learn that I didn't make it for him. This took me a couple of years to realize. I did not make that piece for him. I didn't make any of the pieces for him. I made them because at the time, emotionally, I needed to get that crap out. I didn't even know that the world would ever see my work at that time that I made those pieces. Okay? So when I created them, they were solely for me. Nobody else. Least of all, that one dude, that one guy who made me feel like a piece of shit because I didn't live up to his standards of somebody just throwing paint on a canvas and going, it's called Rain Out of My Anus on a Sunday afternoon. Genius? Oh, no. I created those pieces because I needed to. And that's when I started realizing there's a huge difference between art, artists, and paintings and painters. That's when I started to divide the two. From being an artist, being somebody who puts themselves into it, and somebody who just puts the paint on the canvas. So no, man. Art hell is exactly something along those lines. Having people criticize it. But the key thing is to realize those people don't mean anything. Not to you. Not to your art. Those people don't matter. The only thing that really matters is that you feel better knowing that you put yourself into a piece of work. And that in the end, that's all that really matters. But hopefully somebody out there will look at it. Like when I had the gallery showing a while back. And I asked those people, man, look at yourself. Look inside yourself and tell me what that means to you. And they did. And they were like, they gave me so many beautiful answers. Some of them were tragic. Some of them were very emotional. Some of them were just, they were great. And that's the difference. That's the huge difference. The significant thing that matters is you can have one critic guy say, yeah, this isn't really art because I'm an asshole. Or you can have a group full of people go, man, this makes me feel this way. This makes me see this about myself. This touches me emotionally. Wow. Wow. Who's really the better critic? You know what I mean? Where does it really matter more? The one asshole who makes money off of lie, cheating, and stealing, most of the goddamn time? Or the person who's just like you, who just doesn't know how to express it like you? They just need somebody else to express it for them so they can say, man, I'm not alone. I'm not alone. I'm not alone anymore. Now I know somebody else feels that way. And that's comforting. That's very reassuring to those people, and they need that. So if I ever painted anything for anybody other than myself, it was for those people, never for a critic. And after I learned that for myself, I never gave a shit what those critics ever said again. I never gave a shit what anybody ever said again. Not even regular people that go, well, I don't think that's good. I don't like that. I'm all, okay, then don't like it. I don't care. Like, it doesn't hurt my feelings you don't like my artwork. Whoop diddly doo. You don't like it, don't look at it. I'm not forcing you. Or am I? Toothpicks in the eyeballs go a long way. Just saying. All right, now I'm going to go ahead and detail my little umbilicus cord up here as well. Just a little bit. This little guy doesn't need nearly as much detail because he's in the background a little bit, even though I love this guy so much more. He's my little baby. He's my favorite baby. We already discussed this. Of course, I lie to him all the time, and I'm like, no, you're my favorite. And I lie to those two, and I'm like, yeah, somebody likes you, I guess. But this little guy right here, he's my favorite. I love this little baby. This little baby's the shit. Oh, now my kids are all, hee 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 hee, ha ha ha, everything's fine. We're all happy. 5 minutes ago, they were ready to rip each other's heads off, and now they're like, wee, happy times, which I'm glad, but that's kids for you, right? They're crazy. They're all insane. So yeah, we're going to just darken this little guy up quite a bit, like we did the other one. And again, it's such a light, wettened down black to fill it in with a light, almost like it's a translucent, very, very translucent gray, keep in mind. So when I do it, it just kind of flops right through. Doo-doo-doo. And I'm going to take out all this white because I want him to be completely in the shadows. Because he's supposed to be... Oh, shit biscuits. Damn. I just remembered something. Yesterday I mentioned that I might go for having him be more of the main focus. Because this guy's kind of dark. And I really don't feel like lightening him up. Like, I like the way he's so shadowed out. Not like my art doesn't change the fact that it exists. Not liking my art doesn't change the fact that it exists. True. I don't like a lot of my art. A lot of my art I hate, man. Some of it I can look at and from, oh, God dang it. Yeah. Some of it I can look at and from a technical aspect, I'm like, wow, that's actually not bad. But from every other aspect, I'm like, I fucking hate this piece because where I was at or whatever, I hate it. But it exists, so I won't destroy it. And interesting fact. Hang on a minute. When I was young, back in my day, I lived in an apartment complex. And hang on a minute. Okay, there we go. Yeah. highlight those a little bit more. Cool. I lived in an apartment complex, right? And one day, true story, by the way, one day there was this guy outside. I was throwing away my trash and one of my chores, and throwing away my trash. And this guy was out by his car, crushing up, tearing up canvases, and throwing away some paintings. And I was like, dude, what are you doing? Because the paintings were insanely good. They were all kinds of different things, you know. But technically, phenomenal. Creatively, I would say amazing. Like, they were unique in a lot of ways. Some of them were like, you know, scenery pictures and stuff, but there's a lot of really interesting creative stuff involved too. You know, it really looked like years worth of work of somebody's personal turmoil and struggles and whatever you want to call it. But anyway, I was like, man, what are you doing, man? You know, because I was a curious 16-year-old kid. And he was like, well, I'm just getting rid of some stuff. I was like, dude, you know, like there's one of them. Can't remember what it was exactly now, but it was like a weird kind of abstracty, creepier. And I was like, man, can I have that? That's amazing. You know, if you're just going to throw these pictures away, you know, I didn't know they were his. And he goes, no, you can't. He kind of got snappy, but he's like, no, you can't have that. And I was like, okay, you know, calm down. You know, he goes, well, that one means a lot to me. And then he fucking destroys it. I'm like, dude, if it meant a lot to you, why are you destroying? What? I was like, you know, did you paint these? And he was like, yeah, I painted them. And I was like, then why the fuck are you destroying them, man? Like, what? That doesn't even make sense. I don't remember if it was from a book or a friend of mine. When someone would give me a negative critique of their art, he would say, I made this as a reflection of you. Oh, yeah, that would be good. Be like, well, it's a picture of you, bitch. But this guy, as he was throwing away his art, right, it blew my mind. I was just like, dude, why would you do that? And he said, because it's already served its purpose. It's done. I'm done with it. And it's done with me. I'm like, that doesn't even make sense. Like, my brain was just, well, at the time I was schizophrenic, really bad. And so my brain was literally all over the goddamn place. But it was a very awkward exchange. Maybe it didn't even happen. Maybe this is all in my own head. But at the time, I didn't understand the point, because he was saying emotionally he had gotten out what he needed. So it was over. He was done. He didn't need that reminder anymore. He didn't need those pieces in his life anymore. And I didn't understand it then, but I totally understand it now. It all makes complete sense. Like, once you create it, it's out of your body. It's out of your system. You know? And I mostly talk. God damn, this is just going to become therapy sessions. Paintings are just going to be in the background at one point, where it'll be like, therapy with 4. Oh, and there's a painting in the background. Like, that's what it's going to be. And I'm just going to talk and be like, one day, a long time ago, this happened, and blah-de-blah-de-blah, and this is the moral of the story, kids. And people are going to be like, wow, I learned so much today in therapy class. And you're like, what the? I'm not a licensed therapist, people. Don't listen to anything I ever tell you, because I could probably go to jail. But yeah, not liking your art doesn't negate the fact that it exists. You're absolutely right. And I'll remember that, because it still exists. It's still a part of you. And it still came from somewhere. And you can not like it. It can be an uncomfortable thing. And that's actually a huge part of what I enjoy about art. Is but it can also be a comfortable thing. It can also be a beautiful thing. It can also be a nice thing. But I honestly enjoy it being uncomfortable as fuck, because it forces you to deal with you. And that is something people are not accustomed to. People don't like truth. People don't like to face themselves. People don't like to know. People like to pretend everything's okay and just coast along. as far as they can until the car runs out of gas and they're forced to get out and deal with the fucking problem. Then they're like, oh, crap. Guess there was a huge engine issue, and I guess I should have dealt with that when I had the chance instead of being out here in the desert now and being all alone. You know? So, hang on a second. Apparently I can't talk and do tiny umbilical cord detail. Okay, it's not looking too shabby. It's not looking too shabby because, see, I definitely want the colors to pop enough to keep them separate. But at the same time, I can't have them too detailed because they're within the fuzzy area-ishness. Oh, but yeah, John, they're telling people the negative critique where I would say, well, I made this as a reflection of you. It doesn't really work when you're talking to the curator of a gallery about getting your art put up, you know? So, because then they talk to others, and then you're kind of on this little blacklist, which I am anyway in this state, because everybody's like, hey, he's that weird, creepy guy who's psychotic as fuck and breaks down and has weird fucking issues. You know what? Fuck you. All right? Fuck you, man. I didn't, though. I didn't. It was actually very cordial, and everything worked out. But still, fuck you. You know? Fucking dickbag. There's no sense in that kind of shit. Sorry, I still get upset about it. And I get upset about all that shit. Because, you know what? There's so much more to it. I think I get mad. I think I get offended. You know, I don't get offended about much of anything ever. This new age world where hashtag this and hashtag that and everybody's upset about everything. I don't think I really care. I'm like, okay, I don't get offended. But for some weird reason, I get offended when people are like, well, art's kind of just passe, whatever. Art's just, anybody can do that. It's like, yeah, you know what? Some of the styles and techniques aren't hard. Anybody could do it, sure. But again, it's that connection to the soul, getting your emotions out, putting that on canvas. Not many people can do that. And that's what bothers me, I guess, is when people that say they're a curator for a place that is supposed to respect art in all of its forms don't give a shit about an artist. You know what I mean? That's what bothers me. So then when you and your art people that are trying to open a small collection of like shows and showings to help people understand the stigmata of mental illness and how painting and music and sculpting and art can help you therapeutically versus let's just pop a ton of pills and become zombies in the world. It's upsetting because it's almost like these guys don't give a shit about your art, or about like the mental illness problem, which is huge, especially in Oklahoma. Our system here, man, we've gotten shut down. Our costs here, Jesus, they have cut our funding in half a couple of times just in the past few years. You know, it's like, what are they even doing? But nobody cares, and they're supposed to be like working on. You know, people are supposed to care and be like, "Oh no, we gotta save it," but nobody gives a shit. Nobody gives a shit. It's very upsetting. And hey, Mary, you're back. Good. You know, you said you felt attacked yesterday, and I told you I'm not sorry. I'm still not sorry. I hope it helped. And I don't apologize for pretty much anything. Because if you apologize for how you feel, then either you're lying to yourself or you're lying to them. Now, if your feelings ever change, that's one thing, you know. But if you still feel that way, like I can't be sorry for, you know, thinking the way I think and feeling the way I feel, like that art is this way, etc., etc. Salvador Dali, Picasso, hell, there's a long list of artists who were weird and had breakdowns, but that is why more people connected with their creations. And yes, John, that's exactly why, I'm talking, man. Like yesterday, we actually had a paint with me class, and that was actually, it was a special, I derailed it because we weren't really painting. We were learning about ourselves. And that was the whole point of it, was to kind of say, hey, hey, we're going to connect ourselves, mind, body, and spirit today. I'm not some guru weirdo either that's like, yeah, man, whoa, none of that kind of garbage. In fact, I'm straight edge. So, and a lot of people don't believe that either, but it is true. I am straight edge. As straight edge as somebody can get. Yeah, you're looking pretty good. I like that. It's not too shabby, buddy. Not too shabby. Because that contrast is a little darker than this one, see? So it gives you that more foregroundish. I'm going to shade that in a little bit more, but not too much. I like this one because it pops better out there. Darkens in here. I am going to put a little bit more shade up in here when it's all said and done to kind of help darken the doodads, the line work, the stretched meat hole parts. Back to that weird sayings in there. But yeah, pretty good. And then I got to darken these little guys completely. These little guys do not matter at all. These little guys are just filler to give you more depth, sense of depth. Like, oh, these little guys are coming out the meat hole. Yes, they are. But no, Mary, if you're checking it out, man, it's not that I was trying to be an ass or anything like that and being like, I don't care about your feelings. But in the end of it, it's one of those things where it's like, sometimes people need to hear things like, hey, wake up. If you aren't creating art the way you even feel like you should be, wake up. Reevaluate, reevaluate what you're doing, because if you're even questioning it, then something's up. Something's up. And you know it. You know it. Inside, you feel it and you know it. So wake up. That's it. Just wake up. All right, we're doing better. I mean, the little extra meat man back there. Get light. Where's that light at on him? Stupid light. Little meat man back there is starting to get a little bit better. And I like his eyes, the ones, his little spirally eyes, see them? They're doing better. I like them. They got the little black. I'm going to probably pull those out a little bit more. Surprisingly, as dull-ish, as flat-ish as he is, I kind of like that. I shouldn't, but I kind of do. And I'm not sure if I should keep his face so flat, so bland and dullish, or if I should try to pop it out. Because his arm here pops really well. And that's like it. His arm and his umbilical cord pops really well. But then you lose everything in the darkness here, which is fine. That's what I wanted. Darkness, and then I wanted to kind of brighten it up as it went up. But this here is very no shadows, no brightness, no lights, no anything. But I kind of like it. And John Holmes, what is up, man? When I first added you, it was because of your creativity. Because you are a master, sir, of your craft. Absolutely. I have always been outlandishly amazed at some of your armament pieces and the way you blew my mind. Quit! Out!
I hit my arm on the rail.
Okay, quiet. Okay, don't be screaming though when you come in here. Jesus. Good Lord.
I wasn't even coming in that time.
Quiet.
Why?
Because I'm live and they don't need to hear you screaming your head off. I care, and you should care too, because out of respect. Have kids, they said. It'll be great, they said.
You said that like 3 times.
It helps to direct the focus to your favorite meat baby being the dull thing. Okay, yeah, you're right. Maybe if I do focus, but see, that'd be the trick then, wouldn't it? Because the trick is this. Usually, Oh, really quick on the John Holmes thing, because I don't know if he's still watching or not, but originally I messaged him and I was like, dude, that name though.
Did you hear me screaming upstairs?
Yeah, they probably did hear you guys screaming upstairs.
Did you?
Oh, I did, yeah. So you guys need to calm down. Just skedaddle. But
I'm going to the park.
okay.
Okay.
Anyway, but yes, it does help. But here's the trick to that, right? The trick is this. The biggest one is what would be believed to normally be the focus of the piece, because people are going to go, you know, oh, it's so big, that's where your eyes should focus. So it'd be a misdirect, because people would be like, well, that one looks like crap, but that one looks great. So I probably, you know what, Erica, I think I'm going to do that, because I do love to screw with people's minds and be like, you know, sometimes in my music, well, when I used to do music, I would oftentimes, because I do electronic drums, so the electronic drums are on perfect beat. You cannot. Oh, I messed up. You can't mess up. It's perfect, perfectly laid out. I would purposely screw up one little like hi-hat completely off. And then if anybody ever caught it, I'd be like, oh man, really? Yeah, I'll have to get onto our drummer about that. I just like to screw with people. So I may do that, because it'd be a great misdirect, because people would be like, well, this one looks kind of wonky and a little incomplete and a little strange, but that one looks pretty cool. But yet this one's not going to be really that focused. Oh, here we go again. Here we go again. This is the problem I face so often. So often. All right, we're going to change brushes to tiny brush. And we're going to detail that little guy out a little bit better. Remember, when you're done with your brushes, always, when they're wet, keep that tip, you know, shape them. Shape your brushes. Dip that in a little bit of water. Get that a little bit of black paint. Dip that in some more water. Dab that off a little bit. It's going to be way too much. Blip, 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 blip. Okay, this is way too much. No, okay, I don't know. You know what? Put a little more water, get a little more black paint. Just, oh God, now I'm worried. Man, now I'm worried. Gonna try to detail this little guy. Bad part is now we're getting to this little bitty guy. You guys can't really see crap, but that's okay. You don't need to see me screw up. Oh, really? Yeah, too much black. Blip, blap, blip. Okay, that's okay. Oh, it's okay. They're just kind of, oh, that was terrible. Terrible, terrible. Terrible, terrible. What I'm doing here is I'm adding the little, kind of like over here, or just a little bit of the thing. Don't fret, crazy man. Thanks, I appreciate that. And I always do, so it's not like it's anything new, really. But I'm going to kind of help spread it out a little bit. And you know what? We'll just kind of take the very edge of this and kind of try to soak that a little bit. Kind of, oh, nope, that's not really doing anything. That's kind of, okay, maybe. Yeah, okay. All right, yeah. Oh, God, no, that was terrible. Okay, water. Kind of water that out. Just kind of scribble it in like an ink pen. Yeah, okay, that worked out better. It might be too dark right there, though, now. Now it looks like he's wearing a scarf. Suddenly now, oh, I'm wearing a scarf. A little bit cold, a little chilly out here. Better wear a scarf. Fuck. No, you know what, Erica? I'm actually, it's been interesting, I'm sure, to watch me, because you've watched me from the beginning, which I do appreciate the support. I appreciate everybody who's been watching now. But in the beginning, the first painting, that was more standard for my painting experiments and how I do my work, so to speak. It was a very balanced fight between logic and emotion and like, do I need to do this? Should I do that? This one has been much more unison. It's a marriage, a happy marriage where we're together, agreeing how to raise the child. It's been very nice. Comparatively to the other one that was like a couple of crackheads who just had a baby and they sold it for drugs on the street. That one was terrible. So first one was like, normal marriage, and they have a kid and they go, oh fuck, we hate each other, let's stay together for the kids. And they fight and it's terrible, and the kid grows up and it comes out all right. Second one was crackheads. They sold their baby on the black market for some drugs and ends up being that piece of shit down there, which we won't talk about. And this one's been nice. It's been a nice, good marriage so far. Yeah. I enjoy conversing with a big human. I lack friends. Yeah, well, these are my friends. Oh. I got dogs. My dogs don't even let me pet them. They're like, nah, fuck you, dude. Fuck you, bro. Adding a little bit of black here to shadow in this side part, as well as kind of give it a definition with itself. Let's kind of fade that in with my fingertip and bring it into the mouth. Nah, this little guy is going to be dark too. It's just the only way I can do it. I cannot paint bright stuff. I do not know how to utilize light sources properly, which is something that'll be really hard since I'm like, hey, we should have art classes together. But I don't know how to do art stuff. I'll teach you other things. It'll be fine. You'll learn how to not hate yourself. How about that, huh? Maybe. I can't promise that either. So, oh, shut up, man. If it's not my kids screaming, it's you guys barking. Yeah, she's across there. Stop playing with the neighbor dog. Big whoop, man. God, they get jealous. Because she goes over across the street and plays with the neighbor's dog. Hence me just saying that. Man, see, I'm struggling here because every time I look at this little guy, I go, I like you being like a big, kind of blobby, drab, featureless potato thing. But I keep thinking, I could probably make that a little bit better. Jesus, loud enough? Loud enough? But I could probably detail that out a little bit and maybe do that. And then I'm like, no. Just leave it alone, bro. Leave it alone. See, that's my logical brain. My logical brain goes, if I just did this and I did that. But my creative brain says, really? Just stop. You don't need to keep going. There's my timber wolf. He also gets jealous because she goes across the street and plays with the dogs, but he just howls at it. So. All right. We are working on the eyeball spirals here to help. To connect the two together in the same vein of looks and feels. So far, so good. Not disappointed at all. Don't come in here looking at me, bros. I'm going to add a little something here on this one, though. A little sunken cheek action. See if that works. A little too much. No, shut up, Noodles. I don't want to hear that shit from you.
All right, we're just going to kind of fill that all up and in, all around, and make a little lumpy head part here. And no, Noodles, shush it. Shush it, Noodles. Does that work a little bit? Yeah, that kind of works a little bit. Yeah. Okay.
Thumbs up. Self high five. That's a clap.
Okay, yeah. Now, some of my detail work
It's just the faintest of touches that you'll probably never be able to catch on this
video stuff, which is really annoying.
But I'll try to bring it up and in. First on my YouTube there a little bit on this. So now you can kind of see the over here. What the hell is that white dot on his? Oh, no, it's just an eyeball spiral. But now you can kind of see where this little guy is going. Let me get it over here. Oh, now you can kind of see where this little guy here is going. Same. A little bit better. Okay. Oh. And I wish I could figure out a way to do that camera in camera thing. Like if I could have like a square over here and then like, you know, like the big camera, like boom, right here on the parts. But I don't know how to do that. I don't think I can do that. It's weird. Man, it's been like an hour already. I'm so sorry, guys. I'm working real slow on this one. I really am. I will be done by tomorrow, though, 110%. I want to be done during this week. I'm going to take a couple of days off, prep my brain pan, just, I don't know, cleanse myself spiritually. I don't know. And then I'm going to try to get back on it Monday with something. I don't know. And then, you know, next Saturday, you know, I'm thinking every Saturday at noon, paint class. Actually learn some techniques, though. I already have like a genius idea for the next one, though, that actually, it's not genius. That's just me saying I'm awesome. But I think it'll be smart. I think it'll be good, you know, for everybody. I think it'll be all right. I think it'll be all right. I think it'll be all right. Okay, yeah. That is not looking too shabby. Do have to admit, it's not looking too terribly bad. Why am I getting super hot all of a sudden? Like, holy fuck, I'm getting like hot flashes up in my business. Going through menopause here or something. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe I'm just feeling sick or something. Let me try to shade that in a little bit better. All right, let's see how that dries out. But yeah, so far, not too shabby. Not too shabby at all. I'm obviously going to detail that in a little bit better, though, and fill that up a little bit. Once I'm done with this little bit, I am going to leave his head. I'm going to leave his head more highlighted and stuff for sure. So that will be my focus. Lighting-wise, he'll be more my focus. Because I do feel as though there's, I don't know, it just seems like the light's coming from this central area. And that may be why. Like if the light's here, that's why he's dark. Maybe I might put a highlight on his back end here again to give it that sense. Because see, whenever I started painting this, I kept saying, oh, I fucked this up because I wanted the light to come from here. Logically, I wanted the light to come from here. Like the meat tunnel, meat hole, you know, went around this way. Makes sense. But now it just looks like there's light coming from up here more than anything because it looks a little darker-ish this way. Obviously, it's dark that way. So right here is what I'm thinking. I just don't know. But when I first started painting it, I kept painting the highlights on this one here, you know, and around this edge. So, and I darkened all this backside, which doesn't make any goddamn sense. Logically, it doesn't make any goddamn sense. Creatively, I was just letting things flow and kind of happen. Creatively, my brain, I guess, my soul, whatever, connected, and they pre-planned, because maybe in the early process when I realized this was a little darker before the meat babies got put in there, maybe it was all like, oh, there's more light here, so it just makes sense. I don't know. I don't know. Again, that's why I don't choose this stuff. I don't tell it what to do. I just let it do what it do. And then I say, oh, well, that makes some sense. Or I say, oh, that don't make no sense. You know? Oh, that didn't make no sense. Why'd I do that? Need to get a lot of that paint off there. Better to paint with a little than to paint with a lot. Easier to, you know, correct your mistakes. Just lightly painting over that so the arm kind of fades into the shouldery area, you know. Little bit. Okay. Oh man, maybe I need something to eat. I ate my morning burrito, so that almost doesn't make sense. But, I mean, you never know, man. Sometimes you need more than just a morning burrito. What time is it? 1:26. I don't know. I ate that 3 or 4 hours ago, easy. Maybe I do need to eat something. I don't know, these sinuses have been killing me. The past week, though. So maybe it's just them. All right. Do some finer detail line work in his arm here. That is not doing anything at all. I will make it do something. So it highlights his little arm. Just give me a second to do that. Not like you're waiting on me for anything particular, but you know. But shit biscuits. Boy, don't shit my biscuits and tell me it's an appetizing meal. I got nothing. I'm kind of not feeling good now. Jeez. What the hell? For real, dude. No. You were supposed to be a claw, not a... Oh, shit. You know, fuck you guys. Fuck you guys. Detail work. I had a thought yesterday while painting about you using half the noodles in mac and cheese. Weird. Yeah, well, I don't use half, but I do take out a handful of, because it helps to increase the flavor of the cheesiness. That's Kraft macaroni and cheese, by the way, people. But it does increase the cheesiness. My wife actually just adds like a sliced cheese in there, and I don't like the texture of that. It makes it creamier, but at the same time, I don't know. Weird thought to have while painting with me, though. Oh my god. I am getting major hot flashes. I feel like I'm about to puke. Am I all right? Getting kind of clammy here. Dude, what the... You guys are going to watch me die all of a sudden in the middle of paint? I'm like, hey, everybody, paint with Eric. My good lord. That's better. Give me a little bit more to work with here. And all I'm doing now is I'm just doing a little bit of details on that arm, if you can see it, to help kind of pop it out a little bit, kind of like I did with his. You know, the one I shaded all in really good would be all good. Oops. I'm going to do just the same over here, only I'm going to do it with a little bit more black involved. Unless I die first. Very possible. Lord Almighty, have some mercy, man. Shit. Oops, that was too much black. Water to the rescue. Just kind of smear that in a little bit so we can hopefully utilize it. Okay. I'm going to use that like that for now. That'll be a good. A good one. Looks pretty good. Oh, man, I don't know. Maybe the sinus stuff's finally catching up to me. Probably had like a sinus infection or something for real. It's been kicking my ass all week. So I probably, well, you know what? Now the kids ran a fever for a couple of days there too last week. Well, not even a week ago. So I bet whatever they had, I'm getting now. Great. I thought I got away from it. So I was like, yay. But I bet I didn't. So awesome. Have kids, they said. Nah, kids are great. It's just even when they don't go to school. Although, you know, we haven't been sick that much. It's been nice. That has been a nice change. Now here's the kicker. You ready for this? It's not a kicker. I don't even know what that fucking means. Oh, here's the difference. This little guy's head's a little more lumpy and bumpy. I added this. Let me make sure that's rinsed out good. I have had a sinus headache. I had a sinus headache last week too. So yeah, it's probably bullshit sinus infection or something stupid. His little indentation right here, you know, this little part right here that you got, he doesn't really have. But if you notice, his fat head is a little more bulbous, seems a little more filled out, a little more full, as opposed to this little bumpy guy's bumpy head. So I'm going to go ahead and leave it like that to give them a personality difference without you knowing their personality. But obviously, it shows a little bit of difference between them. I mean, physically, duh. But it shows the difference between the two. It shows that they're not identical clones of each other necessarily. Shapes are slightly off. I'm not trying to go for identical nothing. And there are differences thereof. I'm going to go ahead and darken the skies up a little. Well, maybe not. I'm going to call it good for today, though, because I am starting to feel a little flustered. I'm going to go ahead and go try to eat something and see if that helps. And then I'm going to finish this up tomorrow. I swear it's done tomorrow. With all the little detailing and stuff like that. And then I'm going to go ahead and shadow things in again with another layer of black watered down. And I should be good to go. Should be good to go. Finished the meat babies tomorrow. And I'll try to get some music on too, by the way, Erica. I know. Like I said, I got tons of local bands that would not give a shit if I played their music. At least we can have something in the background. But I keep forgetting to try and hook something up, like a, I don't know, a radio or a CD player or something. I don't know if my computer that's doing my YouTube feel better. Been sick all week too. Maybe, dude. I'm thinking it might just be. Maybe it's just a mix of my allergies weakening my immune system, and then the kids got sick, and it's just finally catching up to me, dude. Like. This whole area, you know, has been like kind of pressury and like, and all week I've just been like, at you. And so I'm thinking that might be a big slept through my family too. I had, yeah, I get sick too. Yeah, maybe it is this, that, maybe. And like I said, like, I don't know if my wife ran a fever, but she wasn't feeling too good for a couple of days. And then the two middle ones ran a fever for about 2 days. And I'm just feeling kind of clammy, you know? So I might be running a fever right now even. I need to go check that. That sucks. It's time for all of us to get sick. I feel like poop too. See? Yeah. So maybe that's it. Maybe. I mean, tis the season, you know? Tis the season. But it just kind of hit me all of a sudden. I'm like, oh, I'm going to paint, you know? Here's a happy little meat man. Oh, Bob Ross this shit. You know, it's a happy little meat. And then all of a sudden I'm like, So I was thinking, maybe I need to go eat something now and try not to puke that up. I'm not really puky, but kind of felt a little, I don't know. Anyway, thanks, guys. Tomorrow, noon, I will get these guys finished. I swear to you. And then Saturdays, because yesterday's paint class was all about taking that first step to become an artist. Next time we do it, I don't know if I should do it this Saturday and just like make it every Saturday after that, or if we should take a week prep, try to get more people involved, and you know what I mean? But I think I'm gonna start doing it every Saturday at noon. Just everybody kind of get together and do a paint class together, paint/therapy class together, and try to actually learn some stuff, because I've got some ideas that I think would actually work. So I'm not going to be the best teacher, but I never claimed to be a teacher or a therapist. So anyway, thanks everybody. Peace to my home slices. Meat babies are coming along. I like the darkness. I like it. I'm not too unhappy with it. Let's take a week. That's what I was thinking, Erica. It was like, take a week, get everybody kind of prepped, ready, engage, you know, talk about it, spread it around, you know. And everybody, thanks for sharing the videos. I highly appreciate that too, by the way. There's been quite a few shares that have gone on, and a few more people pop in, usually early on. Then they realize these things last for like an hour, and then I've watched it for 30 minutes. I'm good. But I do appreciate everybody sharing the videos and kind of telling people, hey, this guy paints things. But anyway, I'm going to, thanks, Eric. I'm going to go eat something, take my temperature, and see if maybe I'm just having some, you know, lady midlife crises or menopause or something, or if I actually did get the thing that they all got. Anyway, goodbye, YouTube. Bloop. And anyway, goodbye, Facebook.